It's me, it's Queen Osset Haru, and thank you for joining me for another wonderful edition of Ask an Aquarius. If you haven't already, please hit the red subscribe button and smack the bell. Guys, if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and pass it on to somebody else who might need to hear this information. On July 14th at 2 p.m. Eastern, we're going to meet here for our fifth live discussion here at Ask an Aquarius. We're going to be talking about pages 19 to 23 in the book Being Me, Loving You by Marshall Rosenberg. So if you have the book or if you don't, please come on out and have a discussion with us about nonviolent communication. This is very helpful for any Aquarius, and it's also helpful for anyone who doesn't have great communication skills. We learn how to communicate with empathy in this book, okay? All right, guys, today let's talk about inhuman versus human spirits. Every so often, I come across a person who has a spirit attached to them. Some of the times, it's a spirit that lives in their home. Some of the times, it's a spirit that has attached to them, like their child may have died. Some of the times, it's a straggler spirit, because spirits are, they're just as diverse as humans are. And people always ask me when we have these kinds of conversations to tell them more about spirits. So you have the inhuman spirit and you have the human spirit. The inhuman spirit has never had a body. It's never been a person. It's never been alive. It's like an angel or a demon if it's a negative spirit. Remember, spirits can be positive and negative. So if it's a positive inhuman spirit, it's something like an angel. Some would say maybe in some traditions they would say fairies or positive inhuman spirits. They've never had a human body is the point. A negative, like I said before, would be like a demon or some kind of dark entity of that caliber. So you have those spirits, the inhuman ones. Then you have the human spirits. The human spirits used to be a person and they died. Bottom line. And now they're what we call an earthbound spirit because basically they're holding on to their life. They're holding on to the memories. Some of them don't even, according to mediums that talk to the dead, some of them don't even realize that they're dead. It's that deep because they've never let go of their humanity. They've never let go of their human life. You have to go to the light. You have to let go of the human part and let your soul go forward. We've seen this in movies and literature and paintings for many eons. But a lot of people don't really understand is that that's your soul's decision. Your soul decides to let go of his life and move on to the next level of whatever the next level is. So a lot of times a human being will not want to let go. They won't let go of their home. They might not want to let go of their family. They might not want to let go of their belonging. So sometimes we have these hauntings. And what a haunting is basically is generally an inhuman or a human spirit. And again, the human spirits can be good and bad as well, that inhabit a certain place. So let's say you have a person who died in a house. And they haven't let go of their home. They haven't let go of their humanity. They haven't allowed themselves to be conscious of the fact that their time here is over. This kind of person, you may see them. You may see their spirit literally in your home. Some people who are sensitive enough can see them. I've seen spirits and I feel spirits sometimes. So some people have that ability to different degrees. I've seen individuals who can talk, like literally look at them and talk to them. I can talk to them through the cards, like through tarot, and I can sense them when they're around me. But there are people who are even more sensitive than that, and we call them mediums. And they can actually come into a room and talk to, damn near interview, if the spirits want to talk. And they can ask them questions like, what's their name? They can tell you the person's name. They can tell you information on them. That's how you can verify if the person is a real medium versus somebody who's just crazy and playing with you. Because they can tell you things like, what was their favorite food? What was their name? What was their middle name? Where did they keep their favorite jewelry? They can answer questions like that. And if you can get those kind of answers from a medium, that's a very talented medium. Very talented. So you have human spirits, like I said, that are good and bad. The good ones may be like your grandmother who's watching over you, for instance, to guide you. You know, some of the times the spirits who have passed over do come around. They do come around to watch over you. They do come around to give you messages and guidance and things like that. So there's the earthbound ones, and there are the ones who've gone to the light. They may come to you in dreams. A lot of spirits come talk to me in dreams. But I think that's because I'm more receptive on that. When I'm on the astral plane and I'm sleeping, I'm more receptive at that time than I am when I'm wide awake. But there's some mediums who can be wide awake and be just as receptive as I am in my sleep. So you have the human spirits again, and you have the inhuman spirits. Now, the inhuman spirits, like I said, the demons and the angels are messengers. The angels are come to help. They're helpers. That's their whole purpose, is to help us. That's their whole purpose. And they have different jobs that they do to help us along our way of evolution. Now, the demons are the exact opposite. Negative, nasty energy meant to stop you from doing your evolution. So those kind of energies do come around too. So one girl asked me, she said, well, this inhuman spirit is around me. Is it trying to possess me? What is it trying to do? What does it want? Some of them do try to possess people. That's very true. That's why you see things like exorcisms happening. The Vatican does not do, I'm telling you right now, some people think that this is all bullshit and it's a game. But let me tell you something. The Vatican does not do an exorcism unless they have evidence. They're not coming to your crib because you said your toilet paper roll fell off. They're not coming to your home to do an exorcism on a person. Exorcism is done on a person. The cleansing is done on the home. They're not coming to your home to do a cleansing or an exorcism. They might come to a cleansing if you give them like a donation to the church. Sometimes they'll do that. If you think something is negative in your home and you give them a donation, sometimes they will. But they're not coming to your house to do an exorcism unless they have evidence. They want evidence of not poltergeist. They want evidence of possessive activity. They want to see evidence of a possession. There's certain things they look for. For example, the person can speak tongues they never could speak before. Things like that. So for people who are skeptical about it, if they're coming out doing a real exorcism, they got proof. They're not going to show us. For whatever reason, the Catholic Church especially, the Catholics are really knowledgeable about demons and exorcisms. And they don't really share. But they're on top of it. They know their stuff. So when you Google it or when you read books about it or when you dig into it, you can see that they've been doing this and some of the methods that they've been using for thousands of years. And they're getting evidence of these possessions before they even come out. So these spirits, these inhuman ones and these human ones are real. It's just that some people never are sensitive enough to experience them, so they don't think it's real. They think it's more crazy talk, But as somebody who's experienced it, and some of you out there I'm sure have too, because we come across them all the time. People have died everywhere, and not all of them have gone to the light. Some of them are earthbound. Now, the inhuman spirits, sometimes they do possess. Yeah, that's like the worst case scenario though. Most of the time they can't. They don't they may try to do things to the person, but I think that some of them don't have enough energy to be able to do a full-fledged possession. I think you got to be pretty high up there, because anytime I've ever read about exorcisms, it was always like one of the beings that is, because according to the Catholic Church, they've labeled all these beings. These beings have names. It's deep. I'm telling you, it's deep. And some of the times, like, they will come, like if they come across a real possession, they'll ask the beast its name. Now, you've seen some of these things in movies, because some movies use real stuff that happens in exorcisms. And that's why people get it twisted, because they like, this is just a movie. Yeah, but they took it from something that really happened. Maybe the scenario didn't really happen. All them Hollywood special effects didn't happen. But they took this case, they took this situation, they took the name of these demons, and they really like have them somewhere in the Vatican in a big book. And you can even see, like I said, you can go online and find a lot of this information. So when people ask me, what do the inhuman spirits really want? Because we know that the human spirits are just attached to their humanity. But what do the inhuman ones want? Well, the angels want to help. And like I said before, the demons sometimes will try to possess. But another thing, like I said before, they really just don't want us to reach our levels. They don't want us. The same way the angels are trying to help, they're trying to hinder. So some of the times, they're not trying to possess you. They're just trying to stop you. They're trying to stop you from reaching the levels that you're destined to rise to. It's actually interesting to me because everybody I know who has ever had an encounter, including myself, with a demon, always had some kind of calling. And I'm like, oh, so they try to stop us from our calling. I got it. And that's what it's all about. So some of the times they try to stop you from your calling just by, being around, by stealing your energy, by keeping you in negative energy and negative situations. And some of the times they do it by an actual possession. But the possessions, like I said, are really few and far between. The Vatican does do quite a few exorcisms every year, though. You can Google that and see the factual information. However, the thing about it is that even though that does occur, is not as much as just the inhuman or the human spirits just bothering people. Most people that experienced this, they were just extremely bothered. When it was human spirits, they're kind of mischievous sometimes. Sometimes they totally ignore humanity. They don't even see you. The human spirits have a number of different characteristics. But the inhuman negative spirits, you usually always feel they're usually trying to steal your energy, trying to hold you back, or maybe trying to hold you down, maybe trying to have intercourse with you, maybe trying to strangle you. You get a couple different things that they try to do to you. And they usually stick around until you have this space cleansed. Until you have your space cleansed. Once it's possessed you, your body has to be exercised and cleansed. But if it's just something that's in a space, it can be cleansed out of the space using a number of different methods. And like I said, people say, what do they want? They want to fucking destroy, They want to bring hurt and negativity and heartache and, they want to bring bad things, negative energy, dark energy is what we call it, low vibrational energy. They want to bring bad things into your experience to stop you from getting to whatever height you're destined to go to. Like I said, the people I know who've experienced this, they all were destined to be priestesses or doing something of a higher calling. And I'm like, okay, some of them are in different spiritual systems, but they're helping people and they're trying to bring people to the light. So I'm like, okay, that makes sense that if you're going to go to the light one day, these beings are going to try to stop you from reaching that space. Okay? So it's not always about possession. Sometimes it's more so just about them bringing darkness and negativity and low vibrations to your life. So you gotta really be able to wean between the fiction and the fact. And like I said, when you watch movies about things like this, they mix that, they play that together. People who know this kind of stuff don't necessarily want it to be common knowledge amongst people. They don't want us to know this kind of stuff. The Vatican isn't just, putting this stuff out every day. Sometimes you do find it, like I said, online. Sometimes you find things, but the Vatican doesn't tell everything. And they make that very clear. None of your business. That's their thing. They do their thing. And there's other groups that, cleanse demons or cleanse inhuman spirits or cleanse human spirits and things like that. Lots of different groups do that. But the Catholics have been doing it for a long time and have a lot of literature on it. So if you really want to know more, you can look it up. They have books on it. I saw books on it on Amazon. I was looking, and it was called like the Encyclopedia of Demons, and it talked about the characteristics and the names that the Vatican has jotted down over the years. So all this kind of stuff, this is the information age. The information is out there, so you can find the factual information. And I always challenge you to look for the facts. You know, they always hide things in fiction. They put it right in your face. You know, they put it in a movie, they put it in a book, you know, and you sitting there watching it like, dang, this messed up, not realizing how close to the truth a lot of that stuff is. All right, guys, it's time for me to get going. So if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and check underneath it for all of my information. And I'll see you next time because I have a lot more to say. See you later.